Well, it's official. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining. Happy Friday, end of May. I'm assuming you could see my presentation here. And welcome. Let me just quickly look around at all the wonderful faces this morning and see if I can't find some special guests or visiting Rotarians. No, awesome. There's an iPhone out there. Oh, must have been Rebecca. All right, so welcome everybody. Thanks again for joining us this morning. I will turn it over to Stephanie for a moment to introduce our raffle. You're on mute still.
Darn it, that's the first time I've done that. I try to be so aware. But good morning, everyone. It's really fun to be able to do Sergeant at Arms stuff, even though we're doing it virtually. So hopefully I'll be checking in with some of you during the meeting. But right now for the raffle, I'm not sure if everyone has set up a Venmo account. It's a pretty easy process. I threw up some instructions that I found on the internet that are pretty helpful if you haven't set up your account yet. And you can message me if you need any help with that. Our family actually uses it to collect rent from our tenants. It's so convenient. So hopefully everyone's set up on that and ready to buy raffle tickets so we can send our $5 to the handle Rotary Club-Arcata Sunrise. And today's raffle, the pot is at $110. And there's 3 gift certificates available if the blue ball is chosen. And those are going to go to the Griffin, Health Sport, and Kinetic Coffee. And they're all $25 each. And the remaining 110 that's in the pot will go to those vendors. So if everyone wants to take a second and toss in their Venmo payment, that would be great.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. I appreciate that. Yeah, the Sergeant at Arms task, I think just needed a little evolution so that we could keep things moving forward. So I think Stephanie's going to try to reach out to some of you out there in committees that she's fond of or interested in. And if you can help her learn more about the club and how to get engaged, that would be wonderful. Appreciate it. I did get a message from Tomas this morning that he won't be able to join us, so we'll have to catch up with him next time. And so I like to try to take care of this, of our members right up front. So Amy is ready for her craft talk. And so I will stop sharing. Amy, if you have a presentation, and give you the opportunity to share if you'd like.
Cool. Yes, I do have a presentation. Can I share my screen?
I just turn over the host duties to you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Morning, yes.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Thank you for allowing me to do my craft talk. I'm excited about it. So here we go. My mom and dad, I love that picture of them. Hopefully you can see it. They met in high school when my dad moved here from San Jose, his senior year of high school, and went to Eureka High, where he met my mom. They both worked at the Eureka Theater together and met there. And that's also the same place that my grandma, my mom's mom, met her husband, my grandpa. So my mom and dad met at the Eureka Theater, and they got married when they were 18. And they've been happily married ever since then. They're loving this quarantine They can't get enough of each other still, so they're really happy to spend a lot of time together right now. My dad has worked at Eureka Car Stereo for over 41 years.
Awesome.
And my mom and my grandma operate Fortuna Art and Old Things in Fortuna. It's the best antique store there ever was. And it's closed right now, but they were approved to reopen, and they're working on their plan, and hopefully they'll be able to open soon. And you can go find your treasures down there in Fortuna. It's really the best antique store. I'm biased, but it's the best. And whoops. Oh no, what did I do? And my mom and dad lived in Carlotta for over 30 years and raised the family out there. But it was a lot of work out there, so maybe 10 years ago they moved to Fortuna. But I was born in Fortuna and raised in Carlotta. I was born on January 24th, 1989. I was 9 pounds, 4 ounces. I feel sorry to my mother about that. And I lived with my parents and my 2 older sisters in Carlotta. My oldest sister's 9 years older than me, and my middle sister's 7 years older than me. So my mom says that I was a pleasant surprise. And I attended Cuddyback Elementary all the way from preschool to 8th grade. That's the only school in Carlotta, so that's where I went. And I grew up playing outside on the river, in the dirt, literally with sticks and rocks. I love to bang rocks together at the river and listen to the echo. So that was kind of my childhood in a small cabin. I graduated valedictorian from Cuddyback, and I think there was probably 12 kids in my graduating class. So pretty high honor. My parents are both one of 5 siblings, and all their siblings have children, so I have a huge family, and we really like each other, so we love to spend time together. And because my dad grew up in San Jose, we're all diehard 49er fans, so I grew up going to Candlestick Park, and would often drive down to the game in the morning and then back after the game in the evening. And some of my hobbies, I love to dance. I'm an avid reader, and I love hiking and exploring nature. My whole family is very passionate about Disneyland. There's a picture of my great grandma wearing a Mickey t-shirt in the corner. We all love and have spent a lot of time at Disneyland. I played volleyball and basketball until 8th grade, and I played tennis in high school. I also did color guard, and I was the president of the theater club and acted in many different plays in high school. And I was on the yearbook while I worked at Jitterbean. So I was pretty busy in high school. I was also involved in Interact and DECA, and was the sergeant in arms for my senior class. And that was all at Fortuna High. I studied business administration with an emphasis in international business at Humboldt State. I studied abroad twice, once in Australia and another time in Switzerland. Both were entirely different experiences from each other, but both were incredible. I studied photography in Australia and that's kind of where I learned to love photography as a hobby, and I was developing my own photos there. And since then, I've done some very small weddings and enjoyed photography just on my own for me as a personal hobby as well. And I still love the 49ers, dancing, reading, and exploring nature. All those things are still true. But I also have developed a strong passion for the nonprofit sector. So kind of in college, while I was studying business, I learned my heart really lies in the nonprofit sector. So I began working at an international nonprofit called US Servos, which is focused on spreading peace and cultural understanding and awareness. And that's primarily done through homestays. It's kind of like couch surfing, but it was established long before that, all on paper. And I began volunteering at CASA as an advocate to support the most vulnerable youth of our community. I felt really fortunate to have such a supportive and loving family growing up. So quickly realized that I wanted to give back to my community and be that, part of somebody's support circle who wasn't as fortunate. So I volunteered for 3 years, and then my supervisor was leaving, and I got her job, so I became a case supervisor, and then eventually became the program manager at CASA and did that for 5 years until recently. Last October, I became the development director for Wild Souls Ranch. I was kind of needing a change, but wanted to work with the same demographic, so started that in October. And I also became a Big Brothers Big sister this year, and I'm really loving it. We got matched maybe a month or two before the shelter in place and quarantine, so we kind of established a relationship, but now we're having fun doing our meetings virtually, so that's kind of cool. And as an adult, I have been with my partner for 5 years, and we live together. His name's Connor. We love to travel and listen to music and cook, and we laugh all the time. My family has continued to grow, so I'm an aunt of 2 twin boys to my middle sister Miranda. They live in Texas. And then my oldest sister Melissa lives in Sacramento, and she has 2 girls. And I feel like I live too far away from all of them. I miss them so much. But we stay connected virtually, which I'm grateful for. And my mom had cancer twice. So another big passion of mine is living as clean a lifestyle as possible. So I'm very curious and always learning about better products, cleaner ways to live. I feel really passionate about knowing what I'm putting in my body. So I became a beauty counter consultant, and that's a safe beauty and skincare brand who's really advocating to change the entire industry. There's been known carcinogens in those types of products for ever, and they're actively working to change that. So there are a bunch of pictures of my family. There's one picture on the lower left side of my cousin who I look almost identical to. So we call each other, we're identical cousins. And protesting and hanging out with my family. that's it, I think. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Amy. Do we have any questions out there for Amy? I think I
So
might-
does she know the song about identical cousins?
Yes, I do.
Patty Duke show? Very good.
My dad used to sing it all the time.
Because they're cousins.
Yep.
Identical cousins.
Amy, do you know about the hidden Mickeys?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
You don't know about the hidden Mickeys at
I don't know.
Disneyland?
Maybe I do. Sounds vaguely familiar.
Do some research. I'll help you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to head down right now and I'll take some photos for you. Except I think it's closed.
Well, thank you again, Amy. I appreciate learning more about you.
Thank you.
That does make it official. So I don't know if there's a virtual way for Rachel out there to pin you as your sponsor, but you've achieved your blue badge, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
He's right below me on my screen, so I'm gonna pin you.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Perfect.
Yes.
great.
So congrats, and thank you for spurring me to look for these ways to kind of keep things moving forward with the red to blue badge process. So appreciate you reaching out and being proactive.
Thank you.
I think this was a slide where I was supposed to have that blue badge, but I think I left it on the other computer. So, so some recognitions. Jose, I think I saw you out there. You joined us. No?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. How have you been quarantining?
You know, the main thing that's kind of changed is just wearing a mask. You know, working at the bank, we haven't shut down, as you know yourself, and we're still back to working 40 hours and really just trying to stay active. Really watching what I eat and trying to go on bike rides and walks along the Eureka area and working out at HSU at the track, maintaining a good social distance, but still trying to get trying to get at it, stay at it.
Well, that's awesome. Looks like that was a pretty decent route. I don't know if I saw the mileage, but yeah, Amy's been doing the same thing. She rode almost 40 miles last weekend in solidarity with her sister, who just turned 40. So awesome. So Jen, congratulations.
Thank you. 3 years later, I finally did it.
I'm assuming this was all fun online. Was there a interesting aspect of it due to the quarantine?
Well, I was supposed to fly out with my 5 other teacher friends, but no, it was all virtual, unfortunately. So I have a plane ticket to Arizona whenever this is all lifted to go have a good time there anyways. So
Nice.
yeah.
Well, huge congratulations. I know that's a lot of work. And Mr. Foster, you paid our former president a visit. You're on mute, sir.
Mute. There we go. I did. Jim's in the St. Mary's Cemetery, which is the smaller of the 2 cemeteries in Ferndale. He's right there at the top, right above his in-laws, Tony and Lucy Rocha, who many of you who've been around this club for a while know Laura, his wife, and that's her parents that are just below there. And clearly I'm not the only one that goes up and visits Jim. There was a bottle of wine, some empty beer bottles, a Baywood wine glass, a medal that was, I think, Baywood related, that was hanging there that was recent. Now, some of you may remember Jim was an avid golfer, and he had a nice place there on the 7th fairway. And of course, he was the charter president and organizer of our club, and a learned and erudite. Can I say that correctly? I think I did. Man, and a lot of fun. So I, been walking around Ferndale a lot lately, so decided to go up and say hi. It's not the first time I've been up there to the top. He's got a beautiful view. I don't know how he scored it, but he's at the very top of the cemetery, great view of the valley, and clearly he's still hosting parties because people go up there and hang out and clearly toast him. He's not the only one. There was another site. There are a number of sites nearby that have half-empty beer bottles or glasses of wine or mementos. So people go up there and hang out, say hi to their friends, and do a toast. So anyway, come and visit. It's a beautiful spot, and you can come over and say hey.
Appreciate the tribute. Wish I had the opportunity to get to know him. Thanks, Greg. Any guesses out there? Those blue eyes.
Yeah, it's piercing blue eyes. I was going to say Rachel, but is that right?
That is right, sir. Trying to find my chat again. It's hiding. Okay. How about this one?
That's Mr. Watson there. That's easy.
Good job. And one last one. This is a good one. Claire Ajina. Nice try.
Claire.
Yes, it is. I think I heard Claire out there. Good job. Keep sending those in. It's fun to see people's eyes and how you're quarantining. So thank you. So Brian, you wanted to say something about the scholarships, a little update.
Yeah, thanks, AJ. Wednesday and Thursday, Julie Vasade and Jennifer Coriell, Jeff, and Andres and I interviewed a dozen amazing Arcata High graduates. These are kids that exemplify the values of Rotary, many of which have overcome some amazing challenges in their lives to do very well. And every year it's a challenge. This year was particularly hard. Really appreciate your donations. As often is the case, we ran out of money before we ran out of qualified recipients. So if you were considering making a donation, please continue. We will continue to award $500 scholarships. Another $600 would really round it out and make sure that we're able to award at least $500 to the most qualified candidates. And again, we have a full dozen of which all deserve to be recognized.
Thanks, Brian. We do have, as a final Friday, a few auction items. And one of them specifically is directed towards the scholarships. Thank you, Rachel, for that. So
Awesome.
We'll see if we can't raise some money at the end of this meeting here and get you at that goal. So.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. So Howard had sent me some photos of some updates from the World Community Service Committee. And so looks like our money is still at work. Howard, can you share what we have going on?
Yes. Of course, we are all aware of the fact that we're continuing to fund Backpack for Kids and also the scholarships, but it seems like everything else is on hold. That's not true, though. We have an international project in Pakistan that we funded before the new year. So we are helping to build an extension onto a school in a village in the mountains of the Swat Valley of Pakistan. You see the beginning of the construction. In the last 5 years, we've funded some wells for villages and then 3 primary schools that we built for 3 different villages. And one of them is RCAS. And so this year, they're adding on a secondary school extension to the primary school that we're helping to fund. And these projects all arose from a local woman, Rabia Lauren, who lives in Eureka, who lived in the Swat Valley for a year, quite amazingly. You know, the Taliban occupied that area for quite a while, but they were driven out, thankfully, recently. Anyway, through her, and then the granddaughter of the former king of the Swat Valley, when it was a monarchy, she lives in Princeton, New Jersey, and then through those 2 contacts, we've been helping to fund these schools. So right now, the construction is on hold. That people in Pakistan, even more than here, are practicing distancing and wearing masks and isolating themselves. So the school construction has been on hold for a few months at least. But we've been both arranging for books to be purchased that are being sent there, and also let's see, there you see the books. And also, though, we're helping provide food for some of the villagers in several of these villages who need help with additional food. And Zebu, the Princeton contact, sent us some photographs of this food distribution program. There you see the people stockpiling the food to be sent out to the different villages. So I'll keep you updated, and hopefully construction will resume in the summer, and they'll certainly plan to finish the school a little bit behind the original deadline, but not much, a couple of months, we think. So we're helping people out there in Pakistan. That's very exciting.
Thanks so much for sharing, Howard. I appreciate the update. And book photo one last time. So Gregg, you had some updates for us on what's going on the small business line front.
I believe I mentioned last week, and this continues, that we are moving through the 2nd phase of reopening in Humboldt County. And to do that, businesses need to submit a reopening and operations plan / application to the county, where that's reviewed, and then you're given a certificate and you go on a list of reopened businesses. So that's online. It's all being handled online. I would suggest that if you or one of your friends / colleagues are getting ready to do this or want to reopen, they get in the line now and get that application in, and they're reviewing based on kind of different types of businesses. So, you know, they're kind of taking them in chunks, but then so that's, you know, that's the basic process there. That's where we are. And of course, the other information is, if you need any help, go to the Small Business Development Center. These are all out there in the Google, or you can just go to Redex's website. I just stuck everything on there. There was a question about if you were an essential business and you were open, even if you have been open and operating, I believe they're actually asking you to still go ahead and go through this process. So please do that. If I have any criticism of this process at this point, it's that the information on who's open is really hard to get from the county. They listed, they released, it was either yesterday or the day before, that they're up to 850 businesses, but you have to go through the rather clunky county website and click on links, and there are no addresses, just the name and the jurisdiction of the business. So if it's, you know, Arcata, it'll say the name of the business, not what it is exactly, and Arcata. And I feel especially bad for those who aren't in an incorporated city, because it just says County of Humboldt Incorporated. So you don't know if it's Garberville or Willow Creek or Oric or whatever. And so I've been asking the county for a while to put up an interactive map that's updating constantly, that we could all share and put in our websites, etc. You could build it on GIS, you could build it on Google Maps. There's a lot of easy tools out there. They haven't done that yet. And so if I have any ask of anybody in this club, you might want to, if you have a contact in the county or a county supervisor or something, just suggest that that might be a good idea. It's not like it's the first time they'll have heard it, but I think it's really important to get the information out there so people aren't wandering around trying to find these businesses, or you know, and it just provides an incentive to businesses to go through the process because they can be shown on the map and publicized as being open and certified. And so, yeah, Patty, you might want to check that out. Patty asked the question, the mill has been open as essential, but I believe you do want to go ahead and fill that out. And as Brandy put in the chat, it's a pretty simple process. It literally is just a Google form. And they ask you 5 different kind of question areas that are come down from the state, and as long, and they're very short boxes you can fill in. They just want to know that you're doing specific things, and then you get your little certificate in the mail. So anyway, that's it for now, I believe.
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that.
And thank you, Amy, for the inspiration for the change of headwear.
Yeah. And Brandy is offering or saying it is really easy, and then there are still PPP loans available for businesses that still need it. So thanks for sharing, Brandy. Any questions for Greg? Thanks again. So Maggie, you have an Arcata Land update.
Yes, we have, we're planning our first fundraiser for July, to start during July, and we're calling it Passport to Taste. And this is a sample to just give you kind of a rough notion of what it might look like. We are using the Disneyland theme of the, Disneyland Passport, and we are going to be approaching our vendors from our events, from our taste events, to see if they would like to be listed on one of the tickets with a, with an offer of some sort. And so Sophie put these together. They look pretty cool, and she just put some samples in. So it's our hope is to make it really similar to the Disneyland passports. And those of you who don't know what those are, Google it. If you've heard the term e-ticket but didn't know what that meant, that comes from Disneyland. And the idea is an e-ticket is if something's an e-ticket, it's the most fun ever. So we are working on this. However, our committee needs to expand. So we need as many people. We need about 10 people who can help us knock out the calls to over 60 vendors. And if we have a team, we can get this done quickly and get this ready to go so that we can start selling the passports and driving some business to our vendors, but also make some money for us. And yes, this is a sample of the A coupon. There will also be a B, C, D, and E coupon. So if you just did the first example, and again, the examples on here are not necessarily what would be on an A ticket, but it's just to give you an idea of what it looks like. So I need volunteers to help us knock this out. If you have been on the Taste of the Holidays or Taste of Spring committees, I got to tell you, this is going to be a whole lot less work. So I would suggest you sign up now before, and get in there so that you can help us out. So please let me know if you'd like to help us. We're not going to be able to do it if we don't have a few more people helping plug away at it. So Rachel's asking if it's just food or drink. We're focusing primarily on food and drink. We're focusing primarily on our taste vendors. So that's primarily food and drink. That was our priority to start with. Looking into next year, there will be other opportunities to do other things, but this one we were focusing strictly on taste, people who have helped us out with taste over the years. So,
hey Maggie, this is Brian. Is there going to be an opportunity for sponsors to purchase ads in the book?
There won't. It's going to be a fairly small book. We do not want to say no to sponsors, so there might be a place on the back of the booklet that we can thank sponsors who are helping us with the printing costs and keeping everything we do pure profit. So yes, I think we would be willing to entertain any support from club members who'd like to get their business name on the back. If you think about, Brian, you're probably old enough to know what a booklet might have looked like. Maybe not.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, maybe not. But they're pretty slim and sleek, but there is a back, the back side of the e-tickets, or the back side of it, that has room for support sponsors. And so, yes, please let me know if anyone is interested in having their business sponsor this and help out with that. We'd love it.
I love it. Thank you for the update, Maggie.
Thank you.
So I'm going to transition into the final Friday, final Friday. But before that, just so we have some extra money in our pocket, Nick, I don't know if you're available to help us with the raffle really quick.
Yep. All right. So, like Stephanie said, the pot is $110 and 3 gift certificates. So let's see who won this week. And it's John Gullum. Good job, John. And let's see if you get the blue ball.
Ooh, I'm going to Disneyland.
No, $5. I'll send that to you through Venmo, and we'll keep going.
Sounds good.
Next week.
All right. Thank you, Nick. Oh, 120 next week. Okay. So without further ado, I'm not sure if there was any particular order that you had, but I'll first announce. So we have the 3 caterers and 3 catered dinners for 4. I want to offer a huge shout out to Mr. Scott Heller for throwing in 2 bottles of wine for each of the dinners, and from the I'm calling it the Heller Cellar. But thank you so much for throwing that in. And do we have an auctioneer out there to run through the auction here?
Yeah, I think I'll do this, at least for these, and I want to let everyone know that sadly for me, but maybe happily for the rest of you, this will be my last auction, and we are the committee. Starting in July, we will have Amanda and Brandon and possibly Ian, if he's not driving, when we do the auctions, who will take over supporting Terry in this auction process for the next year. So it's been fun, and and no, it doesn't take 3 people to replace me, but it takes, it gives more opportunities for folks to enjoy doing this, and they really want to do it. So they will be taking that over. So we do, the first one we have is from Casaros, what Chris did. And for this one, you need to know that she included a bottle of wine. So this particular one will have 3 bottles of wine for 4 people. Should be quite interesting. And she gave great detail on what she would like to provide for the meal. I will say that, you know, if there's something on this that you can't eat or won't eat, I'm sure she'd be delighted to swap something out. So the idea with this is we're supporting these 3 caterers. So the money we raise will go to the catering folks. And I also want to give a shout out to the folks who helped us purchase these items. So I don't have the list in front of me anymore. I could run and get it, but I would say that everybody was very generous, and we were able to get the money together. So the funds for this will go to support the caterers. And I talked to Chris, Brett Schuler, and also Andy Abbott from Citrine, and they're all, you know, very challenged. Things are very challenging for them right now. They've had all the cancellations and things, and they're hustling, but they really appreciate our support. So this is valued at $200, redeemable at any time. I would love to start the bidding at $200 if anybody wants to bid on this. We can open it up, and we've got a bid from Lori for $200. She says, Chris is amazing. She does all the catering at the Humboldt County Office of Education. We've got $220 from Brian Plumley. Do I have $240? Got $220 going once. We got $230 from Lori. We got $240 from Brian. Do I have $250 from anybody? Come on, it's for the kids. All right. Why am I not seeing that? Maybe because it's not, oh, are you saying that out loud? $250 from Jessica?
I see it.
I'm not seeing it. Okay, thanks for seeing that, because it's not up on my screen.
She did it to me privately.
Oh, that's not helpful. Oh yeah, you guys were talking and forgot to flip it. I've got $260 now from Brian. Anybody $270? We've got $260 going once. Anybody else? $260, we're going to go twice on this. Last call for 3 bottles and a great meal. We got $270 from Romy. And we have $280 from Chris Hemphill, getting in the game late, but coming up from behind. We got $280 from Chris. Do I have $290? $290 from Brian. Okay, do we have $300 for this dinner? With some great wine, and she's doing both the tenderloin and the salmon. You don't have to choose, you're getting both. So $290, we've got $290 going once, $290 going twice. Up, $300 from Lori, back in the race. We got $300 from Lori. So we got $300 going once. Do I have $310? I got $310 from Brian. I hope that's you, Brian. I keep saying that, but I think it's you. $310 from Brian. Yes, it is. Okay. Do I have $320 from anybody out there? $320. Then we got $310 going once. $310 going twice. I know people are going, yes. $310. I think we're going to sell this to Brian if nobody objects. We got $310 sold to Brian Plumley for $310. Thank you, everybody. A round of applause. All right. Thank you, Brian. Woohoo! Okay. So the next one we have is, we've got the Brett Schuler. And what Brett's going to do is do a 5-course meal, and he's going to work with you to create the meal that of your dreams. So let's start the bidding for this one. This one, he's valued as a 5-course menu. He's valued this at $300. So if we want to start the bidding at 300, let's see if we can do that. I've lost my folks. Anybody would like to bid on this one to get it started? And if not, I would accept an opening bid of $200 like the last one. And anybody want to bid on this for $200? Are you full already from the last one? Hey, okay, we got 200 from Marty. We've got 200 from Chris. I need a 210 from somebody. I've got 240 from Terry and 240 from Chris. You guys are thinking alike. Do I need more? I need let's do a 260 from somebody. 280 from Chris and 300 from Terry. So we're at 300 to Terry and Marty. Do I have 320? We got 300 going once. Anybody else? We got 300 going once, going twice. I think we're selling this to Terry for $300.
Thank you.
Nice, enjoy that. You'll have a great time putting that meal together. All right, so then the next one we have, what do you got next, AJ? So here's the last one, the last meal. This is going to be 4 people, 3 courses. And he's going to work with you to create this meal. So I'd like to start the bidding on this one at 200. We've got 200 from Romy. Do I have 220? 210 from Lori. Do I have 220? 220 from Romy. Do I have 230 from anybody? Lori, interested? 230 from Lori. Anybody else? We're going to 240 now. 240, 240. 240 from Chris. Yay, we got another horse in the race. 240 from Chris. 250 from Jessica. Oh my God, it's a 4-horse race. Anybody else? 260. 260. 250 going once to Jessica. 250 going twice. Looks like Jessica's pulled out into the lead. 250. We're going to sell this to Jessica for $250. Thank you, Jessica. Awesome. So that's so great. These folks are going to really appreciate this, and when we need them, they've always been there for us. So this will let them know, and they'll keep them happy too. So thank you so much. What do you have next, AJ? Oh, okay. So this is great. This is now I think. I'm not sure. I think we want to do this separately, right?
This is going to the Rotary Foundation.
Right.
This is our final Friday for the Rotary Foundation. Thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. And are we, unless we're doing this cleaning, we're going to do the book separately, I think was the plan. So we'll start with the cleaning kit. Do I have, this is probably worth a lot more we're going to start at 200 from Terry. Is that for the cleaning kit and the books?
The cleaning kit.
Okay, 200 from Terry for the cleaning kit. Do I have 210? I know Terry really wants this, so 210. I think we're going to sell this to you. Going once, going twice, 3 times, sold to Terry.
Thank you, Mike.
To the Rotary. Thank you, Mike. So then now we have books, the books. Now this is volume 2 of Michael's books. I think we're going to sell them separately.
Good idea.
So does anybody want to start the bidding on these books? We'll start at $50 for a book. Anybody? We've got 50 from Lori. Do I have 60 from anybody? We got 50 from Terry. Do I have 60? 60, 60, 60. Nobody?
Well, we have 2 books.
Right. So right now, we're going to sell these books for $50 a piece, one to Lori and one to Terry. Does anyone else want to enjoy these books? People have read them, really enjoy his writing and his stories. Anybody else? If not, we are going to sell these books, one to Lori and one to Terry for $50 each. Thank you, both of you, and thank you, Mike. All right. Wonderful. So that raised us $300 to go to kind of little icing on the Rotary Foundation cake for the end of the year. We have
Thank you,
already
everybody.
Thank you, yes. We've already hit our goal, so this puts us even over and better, and it gives Terry her cleaning supplies. So what's not to like?
Right. Thank you, Maggie. So there is one last item. Guess I'll start with giving Rachel a chance to explain what's all in the package here. All the funds are going to go towards the scholarships here. So.
Yeah, so you'll be doing a lot of clicking, AJ, because I like animation. All right, so we'll start with your new 30-quart cooler, and let's see what kind of goods are inside your cooler. All right, so we'll start with some local spices and sauces, but what can we use those spices and sauces on, especially the Ted and Barney's, other than a tri-tip from Ferndale Meat, a delicious marinated tri-tip. And then while we're speaking of Ferndale, after you go fix Gregg's tea, you can enjoy some candy from Golden Gate Mercantile, as well as a cute little Ferndale mug of Land of Milk and Honey. But now it's time for a drink. So, a drink of wine, that is, with 2 local bottles of wine from Old Grove Cellar and Moonstone Crossing. Got to have our alcohol for Rotary. But what pairs perfectly with wine other than chocolate? So you got to try some delicious local chocolate. And if you've never tried the bee pollen and fennel, it's quite interesting. And on the topic of bee pollen, might as well throw in a jar of the fresh jarred honey from my bees. And while we're at the farm, the chickens are right around the corner, so why not have a dozen fresh farm eggs from Mama Nita's chickens? And speaking of farms, might as well throw in some Sarvinski family farms meat. So here's a little variety pack of Polish sausage, pork butt, land yoggers, teriyaki sticks. And with all that meat, you'll probably need some veggies. So drive on down to the Corn Crib in Pepperwood with your $50 gift certificate, which can also be used at the farmers markets, the Sarvinski Family Farm stand or booth. And speaking of gift certificates, an item can't be complete without a $100 gift card to the Griffin.
Wow. Wow.
And to top it off, why not add some of my venison burger as well as some elk summer sausage made by my parents and some chorizo. What do we have? Albacore tuna, pickled beets, zucchini salsa, canned sauerkraut, some raspberry jam, and I'm sure I'll throw in a few more goodies for whoever wants to support the Arcata High School scholarships. So this is probably like a $400, maybe $500 value, but in my mind, it's priceless.
That's awesome, Rachel.
We could, if we don't want to say it's priceless, because then we won't know we won't get any money for it. But wow, Rachel, just wow! Look at that. Thank you for the summary, because I can't write, and what you lost me at pork butt. After that I had to put my pen down. So, wow. Okay, I agree. I agree. I think this is worth $400 to $500. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be kind to you all and start the bidding at 400. Do we have anybody out there? Whoops, I need to get my chat up. Romy has put the bid in at 400. We have 410 from Brandy. Do I have 420? Anybody? 420? 420. 420. We could skip 420 if you're averse to the number. Okay, 420 from Romy. Got 420. Do I have 450 from Brandy? We're up to 450 now. It's a 2-horse race. 450, Brandy. 460 from Craig. There you go. We've got 460. 460 from Craig. Anybody 470? 470. Do I hear 470? 470. Nope. So far we're at Craig with 460. Okay, that's going once to Craig. Final offer. Come on, it's for the kids. Oh, this really is for the kids. Hey, it's for the kids. 470, Brandy. We've got 470 from Brandy going once. Do I have 480? 480, anybody? 480 for the kids? It's for the children, come on now. And supporting our scholarship, which the team has done a great job. Yeah, Brian, you can't do everything. Janice, yay, Janice said 480. Well, Janice knows best. So thank you, Janice. Thank you, Craig. We're at 480 now. Do I have 490? How about somebody just round it off to 500 and be done with this? Anybody? We got 480 going once to Craig and Janice. 480 going twice. We are selling this in the interest of time for 480 to Craig and Janice. Thank you, Craig and Janice. Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks, Rachel.
That is awesome. We needed that money to help us get the scholarships up to where they need it. I think that, Brian, that we just need a little more. How much more, Brian, do you need now? You can let us know. There might be someone out there who's willing to talk this.
We can take everything you can give us. We've got so many great kids we can fund, and we will just continue to go down our list and hand out $500 scholarships until we are out of money.
Okay. All right. Well, this puts you almost at another one. So awesome, everybody. Thank you so much. Back to you, AJ.
Thank you, Maggie.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for an amazing last final Friday. Last amazing, what a way to finish off this amazing basket. So thanks, Rachel, for putting that together. So Stephanie, coming back to you.
Yeah. Thanks for everybody for dealing with all my little private messages there. I did attendance, and there's a couple folks without last names on their screen that I checked in and tried to remember your last name. So thanks. It's fun matching faces with everybody and getting those names committed to memory. But I checked in with a couple of folks about committees. I didn't get to do the committee mixer. That just got canceled as COVID was happening. So I'm still trying to learn what all the different committees are. So I checked in with Ian. I happen to know that he's on the Youth Exchange Committee, and that's one that I'm very interested in. So we're going to talk next week about me possibly joining that committee. But I also checked in with Charlie, and she said that she's on the Finance and the World Service Committee. And it looks like with Maggie moving into the president role, Tom might be becoming the chair of that committee, and that might be a cool one to check out. And then I also checked in with John Gollum. He is taking a break from committees at the time, which I fully respect. It's important to take a time off when you need it so you don't get burnt out, because then when you get burnt out, you don't do anything. So good job, John, for a little self-care. And he was previously on the World Community Service Committee as well. And then one thing I was just going to let everyone know is I needed to do a makeup meeting because the Friday before commencement I wasn't able to attend. And I actually was able to attend the Lakeport meeting that happened on Wednesday at noon. Jessica and Romy were there as well, and they had the immediate past president of Rotary International speaking, and that was really interesting to hear that level of Rotary. And it just really, he talked a lot too about how he had been in India the day before and other places in the US, and how COVID is strange and created a new world, but being able to go to the Lakeport meeting is something I wouldn't have been able to do in the regular world. So, and he wouldn't be able to go to all these different Rotary groups virtually all across the world either. And I thought that was that gave me a new positive spin on Zoom and COVID. So there you go.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, I think that the pandemic has opened up the ability to check out some other clubs outside of our area. You could even go international, which is an amazing opportunity to see how other clubs run and how they're all doing during these difficult times. So, so thank you, and we'll keep doing the Sergeant at Arms this way, and I think we'll have Bryn as our next Sergeant at Arms at next meeting. So, so satisfy that. You can check that off your list in your journey to Blue Badge. So, thank you, Stephanie.
Thanks.
So, with that, happy Friday, everybody. Keep howling. I know there's a lot of reasons to howl out there, and thank you again for awesome final Friday. Thank you to those who've contributed and donated, and I hope you all have a good weekend. Finish this off with the bell. Thank you, everybody.